My name is Autumn, and I am a massive deal. This is an impromptu video because that's what I do best. So in case you don't know, there's a certain movie musical coming out, and if you don't know anything about me, you know that is one of the genres I thrive in. I'm very excited about the Mean Girls movie, of course, but there's been some confusion in recent marketing as trailers have been released of people going, hey, is this a musical or not? Which is a very fair question. Where'd the music go? Are we doing that? My hair dye got stuck on my ring. So I just wanted to make a quick video talking about it because I do think it's a very interesting phenomenon. If you don't already know the current landscape of musicals right now, in general, it's pretty shabby. You know, if you look at Broadway right now, you won't see much. Theater has been in a very rocky state ever since and hasn't fully recovered, and in New York City specifically, really hasn't recovered, as most Broadway theaters have stayed shut down or have only put on an occasional show. And the runtime of most of these shows has gotten so short that it's shocking. And it begs the question to most of us musical theater fans, why what is going wrong on the business side of things that has caused Broadway to be in a flop era? It's very hard to say. And while things have gotten better, it's not that it's really recovered. For movie musicals, we've seen some really interesting ones in the past, like 5 years in general. I think some that have been very revolutionary towards the medium and how it could exist going forward. I think especially the investment in more diegetic music and musicals in general, but especially in movie musicals, is a very important thing, as seen especially in the Lin-Manuel Miranda movies here.
Hi, this is Laura's editing me here. I didn't state this before, but there's also an interesting trend happening in movies, as of especially this year, of standalone comedic musical sequences in movies. For example, Barbie, the Super Mario Brothers movie, and even the Marvels recently did this. It's for comedic effect. It's this big, grandiose direction choice you can put into your movie without having to commit to the concept of making an entire musical. I don't think it's a problem, but I do think that that's also caused a bit of a shift that should be recognized. And I don't know, it's just random, but I was thinking about that too. That's been a thing.
This is the life ball. Let's go. By reshaping the inserts of a lot of songs to have a more grounded emotional peak or to be diegetic means it's less questionable to be put into a movie in the first place as a hyper-realistic piece of art. Now, all of these big words aside, where does Mean Girls lie in landscape of this? Well, in case you didn't know, Mean Girls is a musical. I make that joke because a lot of people don't actually know that unless you're reading press release articles and stuff about it. I think it's funny we have so many of these like age-old questions to a movie musical with this one, when the answers lie so aggressively right in front of us, right before our very eyes, that it makes me ask in return, why would you ask that? The first question when the idea came up and was released of they're making a Mean Girls musical movie, people were like, why would you make a movie adaptation of a musical that was already a movie? And to that, I beg the question, why have we been doing that? For instance, Hairspray. If you want to talk more recent examples, Matilda just did this. Matilda is a book turned a movie turned a musical turned a movie. Back to Mean Girls though. The first question that arose was that, and I think that argument's been pretty pushed into the ground. I would also beg the question, I think a lot of people forget that Mean Girls is based off of a book too. This is like a formula almost. Book to movie to musical movie. Let's get to the root of why I'm making this video though. The trailer. Have you seen the new Mean Girls trailer? I love to talk about trailers, apparently. I also recorded my reactions to the FNAF movie, by the way. Like my initial reactions post just seeing it. If that's of interest still, because I forgot I did that and I found it the other day, I will edit and post it. I was a mess. It was beautiful. Also, the idea of doing a movie roundup for 2023, I want to do so bad. I just want to talk more on movies on here. How do we feel about that? How do we feel about that, folks? I feel good. I miss posting on here. Anyway, back to Mean Girls. Now it's set to get him back, and there's a snippet shown from Regina's like Meet the Plastics in the little thingy that showed before the Eras tour. I didn't see it because I went to Alamo Drafthouse, so that was my bad, except what else would you expect from me? I live in an Alamo Drafthouse kitchen, in case you were wondering where I'm at right now. I think it's hilarious, though, that people are shocked by this to a certain extent, because if you look at some of the more recent, fairly successful movie musicals that aren't animated or really a Disney movie, because Disney has established being very like musicals but people like it kind of thing. I'm freaking out that I have a shadow of myself against the wall right now with my ring light. I hope that's not bothering you because it's driving me nuts. Like, who's behind me? Right, shadows exist. If you look back at a lot of these musicals that we have come to love on the big screen as of late outside of Disney, though, La La Land is a good example. They have Another Day of Sun, I think, is in the background, but it doesn't show anybody singing in the movie, so it's kind of left up to interpretation as to its place in the movie. That's pretty common in the past for a lot of marketing in these movies. Now we look at this one. They didn't put anything in it. Okay. I think Hairspray is an interesting callback for this, though, because if you watch the Hairspray trailer from back in the day, yes, there's clips of songs from Hairspray. But if you don't know the Hairspray musical, you would just assume that those songs are songs from that time period, and they're shown in the scenes where everyone's like dancing for the show and things like that. And it's not really showing anybody singing, and it's even more so. Ow! I broke my hand. I burnt my hand on hot wax today for the first time. Now I feel numb. No wonder I can't do unscripted videos. This is insane. We aren't really seeing a strong example, though, in all of these of a trailer that absolutely does not show it. But it is absolutely a marketing tactic because it's playing off of the fact that audiences don't know it's a movie musical. And the minute a lot of people find out that a movie like this is a movie musical, they decide they don't want to watch it. Which is fair. People hate musicals until they watch them and then they're on board. You have to literally gaslight people to watch a musical anymore. It's so funny to me. I think that Olivia Rodrigo is more to kind of set the vibe of what the movie's going for, which is unpacking a late Gen Z, early Gen Alpha high school experience version of this movie and showing that it's, like they say, not your mother's Mean Girls. I really do think that, yes, it is a marketing tactic to just get people to come see the movie and to take it a bit more seriously because it is a movie musical. People won't automatically. But by them doing this, it does push for a higher audience, potentially. We'll see if it's effective. I think it will be, just because it's also based on a franchise that already exists and is so beloved. I'm a little scared to see how people react to like some of the great lines being taken, but actually after watching Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, which I could also drop a video about because that changed my life, I don't know if people are going to be so anti that, because that's a show, for instance, where I think, especially based off of what they're doing and recreating the story, that you would expect them to do some of the iconic lines from the get-go, and then they don't, and you're not disappointed by it in the slightest. They pay homage in the right ways, but they don't have to every single detail pay homage necessarily. So I wonder if they'll go more of that direction, similar to the musical on stage. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it'll be completely different from both. That is a possibility too. I think there's also a possibility that, similarly to kind of Matilda, where maybe they're putting in some new songs on top of the songs that have existed, maybe taking one or two out. I wouldn't be too shocked by that, or replacing some songs that maybe just won't translate to screen well. I do think that there's one or two that will very much be swapped out no matter what, just because I really don't know if that'll hit a non-musical audience, or they'd have to just change it up. But we'll see. I know everybody wants World Burn to be in the trailer, but I think it's more worth it for World Burn, for instance, or Meet the Plastics, or all of these songs to be released on screen for the first time. So it can be a magical experience for the musical lovers and the movie lovers and anyone who has maybe not seen any of them all at once, because maybe they're really just gonna take our breath away. Sure, there is that small chance that it's bad, but I'm gonna bank on it being great. And based off of everything I've heard so far and seen so far online, I'm gonna say that's the case. So let's push for it. Let's see if I'm right next year. Thank you for joining my jibba-jabbing here today. I miss you on here. And I'm thinking about doing some more again. I just needed some time to settle in here in Los Angeles. So thank you for being patient with me, and I promise you I won't probably be vlogging, because my days right now, I just like sit on my couch. So what is there to vlog? Hey, thanks. I would say I love you, but parasocial relationships are weird. Okay, maybe talk to you later if you subscribe and like and comment and things. Okay, bye.